Now this moment made me want to pull out my hair, and it was all Georgia's fault.
She did, though. She pulled out her hair.
I had a few strands, actually. Yeah. No, just kidding. But what we were actually planning on doing was we were trying to figure out the moment that would be appropriate to finally show the title of the show. And originally we were debating between the first song and the second song because of various reasons, of course. I believed that we should have it after the second song, while George believed that we should have it after the first song. George, do you want to state your reasoning why you wanted to do it then?
I think that the first song is the core of the whole piece, of the whole production. I think Still Hurting is one of the most vulnerable songs in the whole show, and just having it after that would just set the tone of what to expect about, a show about fleeting love. So that was my reasoning and behind the thing.
Mm-hmm. My reasoning behind doing it after Shiksa Goddess was not only because it established both Kathy's perspective and Jamie's perspective in a full song. Jamie, of course, does have that small little interruption and Still Hurting whenever he's getting ready for his first date. But in order for it to be equal, I felt like we needed to also see his perspective after the first date, as well as so that need of making sure that it was equal for both of them, so that way we could see both perspectives.
We'll ask the questions here, buddy.
Yeah, we're asking the questions. Wait, were you trying to do sign language?
She's the bad cop, I'm the good cop.
Well, let's ask the question. Is there any questions that you'd like to ask each other?
Why did you scream at me, Hallie? That one that... No, I'm kidding.
Well, something about, being both the assistant director and director of photography, how did those two jobs, did they kind of go hand in hand, or how exactly did that work for you?
Yeah, I think they both kind of went hand in hand. Since I was there from the very beginning with you, I think it was much easier to try to gain an understanding of how to shoot a certain song or what to focus on a song. So I think having both of those hats on my head at the same time was a little bit easier than, two separate people having to communicate back and forth on their ideas.
Right. Yeah, and it definitely helped from my perspective too, so that way I could understand what you were thinking as well for the photography or for the film stuff. As the director of photography, with what you were planning on doing for the film, and also getting your input of, oh, this might not work, or this does totally work. Getting your feedback as the assistant director / director of photography definitely helped out without having to, have 5 different people trying to collaborate and do all sorts of things like that instead of just 2 people.
What would be the most rewarding thing you got out of your first time directing something?
I think definitely all of the knowledge that I've gained from this experience, because it's one of those experiences that you kind of have to just dive right in, just do it. It's like a hands-on sort of experience, and I feel like for sure all of the knowledge and experience that I've gained is something that I'm forever grateful for.
As well.
Right, for the ending song, we have a shot where the 2 characters are in the same frame for one last time before the show is over. And originally we wanted to do a more film-style effect on it with a diopter, and we just weren't able to get the filters in time and whatnot. But I think the way it turned out, I think it did more than do its job. I think it very, very much cemented that it's two individuals that are not going to see each other again, or at least not in the same light that they were at one point. And seeing the 2 extremes of the lowest point and the highest point, I think is very much displayed the way we shot it, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out of just showing those emotions at work there.
Yeah, I also agree that that moment is actually one of my favorite scenes in the whole show because it really shows the contrast between those two moments in time, even though they're standing on this stage together, sort of close. The way that they're angled and the way that the lighting looks and the costumes, it all sort of brings that idea together that even though they're together on stage, they're not really together in timelines, and also they're not really together relationship-wise.
Not being able to work with the actors or the presence of the stage much was very difficult in just planning out what we actually wanted to do. It's very different when you're thinking of stuff in your head and writing stuff down according to what you think is going to happen, and then actually being on the physical space and trying to make that happen is so much different. And we had to change a lot of stuff last minute, and we didn't have a lot of time to maneuver around those changes, but we still made it happen, and I'm pretty glad with what we had.
Yeah, the process was very speedy, to say the least. The days that we actually had rehearsal, we actually had a few days of rehearsal with the actors by themselves, and then a dress rehearsal, and then the day of filming. And the day of filming, we actually filmed the whole show in one day from basically 9 a.m. to around 4 or 5 p.m. It was a very long day, but it was so rewarding in the end. And being able to accomplish something like that is definitely something that I can say that I am for sure proud of, and proud of the entire cast and crew. Thank you so much for watching this video explaining some of the insider information about the last 5 years. We really hope that you take the chance to watch the show. We hope that you enjoy it. You can purchase tickets at nacc.edu/theater. And thank you so much. Georgie didn't say anything.
That's fine.